Enough is enough. The call for a united Scotland. Are you truly ready to do what it takes to move the grassroots independence movement forward? Not in words, but in action, in conviction, and in unbreakable unity? Or are we to remain trapped in this endless loop of bitter division, circular debate, and party-first pettiness, whilst the British state tightens its grip on our future? Can you honestly say that you are content with the status quo? A Scotland silenced, sidelined, and sold out? Because let's be clear, this isn't just about party politics. This is about nationhood. This is about sovereignty. This is about whether Scotland rises or whether Scotland falls. The infighting, the orchestrated division has not been accidental. It has been deliberate. A weapon wielded by the UK government, the British establishment, and their loyalist mouthpieces in the so-called mainstream media. They have sown mistrust, they have fed dissent, and we have taken the bait for far too long. So let me ask you this: can we put our differences aside, not for a party, not for a leader, but for Scotland? Because let's face it, political hegemony and party allegiances will no longer cut it. Not now, not when the stakes are this high. The old loyalties that kept us fractured must give way to something greater, a movement that is rooted in principle and purpose and in people. Can we, at long last, stand shoulder to shoulder and say with one voice, we will not be ruled, we will not be manipulated or dismissed any longer? Because 2026 is not just another Holyrood election. It is a line in the sand. It is the last best chance that we may have to install a truly pro-Scottish, pro-Scotland government and opposition in our Parliament. A Parliament that speaks for Scotland, of Scotland, and to Scotland. And let's be absolutely clear, political hegemony and party allegiances cannot deliver us to freedom. The era of party dominance, careerism, and tribal politics must end. Because this movement is bigger than any party. If we are to win, it must be Scotland first, always. No more unionist puppets, no more empty rhetoric, no more compromise with a system that is designed to keep us subordinate. We need fighters, not fence sitters. We need believers, not backroom dealers. We need a Parliament that represents the will of the Scottish people, not the whims of Westminster. So I ask you, not gently, but with fierce urgency, will you continue to let them divide us, or will you rise and reclaim what is ours? Are you ready to fight for unity, to set aside tribal grudges, to back independence with everything you've got, not just at rallies, but at the ballot box? Will you demand a Scotland governed by those who put Scotland first, not London's interests, not party vanity, not ego, but Scotland's people, Scotland's resources, and Scotland's right to decide its own future? Because this is it. This is the fight of our lives. The question is no longer if you support independence. The question is, are you brave enough? Are you bold enough? And are you Scottish enough to act like it? But let me be absolutely crystal clear. The consequences of failure are dire. Another 5 years of unionists disrupting our Parliament and Scotland's progress will see our natural wealth stolen in plain sight, with Scotland's land our waters and our vast energy resources continuing to line the pockets of Westminster and the elite, whilst our communities are left in poverty, scraping by on the crumbs from our own table. Holyrood undermined and dismantled, its democratic voice drowned out by Westminster's relentless power grabs, reducing our national parliament to a theatre of powerlessness, a shadow of what it is meant to be. Generations of Scots continuing to be betrayed, watching their hopes for independence dissolve into cynicism and despair, as the dream that we have carried for decades is pushed further and further out of reach. The very fabric of Scottish life torn apart, with our NHS, our schools and our public services gutted under yet more waves of Westminster austerity, designed in London, imposed on Scotland and paid for by our most vulnerable. The British state solidifying its grip, emboldened by our division, empowered by our disunity, and unchallenged as it rewrites the future of Scotland without our consent. And perhaps the most chilling consequence of all, Scotland's future, our children's future, will no longer be ours to shape. It will be dictated from a distant government that does not speak for us, does not care for us, and never has. Is that a price that you are willing to pay?